Yes, yes, peeps. Make sure mic check, mic check, mic check. The camera is working well. The hay fever is trying to attack me today, man, but the show must go on. We've got Kizzy Bold in the building. We've got obviously Pops 1/3. Should I say 1/3 is more than three, man?
1/4.
1/4 now. Sorry, my bad, Chris Angel, man. My bad. 1/4 for the Bayesian Massive as well from Bayesian Red TV. There are links to their channels are in the description. Nothing too crazy today, lads, man, and ladies in the building. We're just going to chop up. Where do we think we need to go and fix next? Do we need to sort the attack? Do we need to sort the midfield? Or do we need to go and concentrate now on the defense? Big up to the chat. Big up to Scottish Bear in the building. LFC, Shankly, CJ, Simons in the building as well. Big up to everyone that's joining and watching in the background, wherever you guys are doing. Before we start, man, guys, how are we today, man? Are we all good? What is it? I keep thinking it's Sunday, but it's Saturday, right?
Nah, it's Saturday, man.
But what do you? Am I the crazy one? Am I the crazy one?
The week's been moving mad, man. You go Monday, it's Friday. I mean, and then when it's Friday, it's Monday. It's like, bro.
Hey, man said like the crocodile hunter. Big up to on in the building.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, the man them all good. Everyone all blessed today, and the family all blessed.
Well.
Yeah,
man.
No,
Bahale with the hay fever like you ain't. Bahale with that hay fever stuff, but anyways, man.
No, do you know it's mad, yeah? Because I grew up in the Caribbean, bro. I never used to struggle with this hay fever shit. I used to run around, roll around in grass,
bro,
roll around in gravel, like crazy stuff. Come to England, and all of a sudden now there's allergies. What are these, man? And you know what's crazy? Because when I go back home to Jamaica, right, I don't struggle with it. It doesn't exist.
Same here. I didn't know a lot of things I didn't know until I got here. All of a sudden, I wake up, my eyes are red shot. What is this, man? Am I going blind? Oh, you got allergies. What is that? You know, I played in the dirt, in the grass, never got allergies until I came here. The grass are not the same.
Yeah, do you know how many trees and plants I've got at home, bro? Back home, bro. Roll around, run through them, not one bit of sniffle or a sneeze. Come to England. Boy, if they cut the grass 2 miles away, I'm finished for the day. Nah, it's crazy, bro. I don't even know what's going on. Big up to Gina building as well.
She's in the building.
Rev Knight in the building as well. Big up to Goat as well. Nah, man said, nah, it ends for real. It feels like a Sunday today. I promise you, bro. Like today, I keep thinking, nah, is it Sunday? Nah, it's not Saturday.
Were you watching the one of them World Cup matches?
No, do you know what? I've glimpsed it. You know when you walk past the TV, it's on in the background, and I glimpse a couple of things. But
maybe you were thinking that maybe it's a Sunday game. You know, maybe an EPL is on.
Probably that. I don't know, man. It's one of those ones. But yeah, guys, if you're just joining, big up to you guys. As we said, we're gonna just talk about more. Where do we think we need to kind of adjust and fix now in the team? Because I think we've got in 3 top players so far. I'm going to add Kerkez on there because we got the here we go. So we kind of said yes. Do we still need to concentrate on the defense? Do we need to shift our focus now to the midfield, or is it all guns blazing now to sort out the front line, the attackers as such in the team? We'll go to you first, Pops, man. If you had to pick one section, man, what section do you think is the most important now that Liverpool need to assess?
Because Ibu hasn't resigned yet, I would say defense. That's the spot for me. As it stands, midfield is, for some people, yeah, we could go as it stands, or we need another one. Up front will probably deal with itself. Isak seems that he's off the table now for 150 or whatever, which we figured anyway. But Nunes out, somebody in is probably what's going to happen. That's what it looks like. But without Ibu being signed, you just let VVQ to go to Leverkusen. Joey G is our longest standing player right now.
Yeah.
And you're not sure whether he's second, third, or fourth. And you got Verge, the bad man, for 2 more years based on contract. You just added a left back, effectively, and a right back. To me, you still got work to do behind it. Sign up Ibu or sell him is one of them. To me, is one of them things. Get him in or get him out. We got to be stable for a year. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you sign me up for 21 right now,
Yeah.
we might lose Ibu on a free next season. I sign in the contract right now. I sign off on season. Give me 21 and then tell me that Ibu might leave. All right, no problem. But fix it. We gotta do something behind it. But this is, I mean, when we were on Flawless's channel, this is something I mentioned. When VVD didn't sign and they brought the contract Ibu said, wait a minute, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You try to rush this here, but let me see what can happen. Because if this man don't sign, I want this man money. And if this man does sign, I want this man's all money. Or now all of a sudden it's, well, you know what, Real Madrid might want me on a free. So he now in a situation where he got a lot of power, which obviously you don't want, but it's what it is. We are back in a similar situation that we were with with Verge and with Trent, pretty much. But like I tell you, sign me up for 21. I will deal with Ibu in the summer. If it comes to that, that's what we're willing to do. That's me. I'm willing to do that. But we need to sort it out because we don't have a third. Nalo's supposed to be a good prospect, and we didn't see a lot of him last season. Came on, got sent off, unfortunately. But big up G. But he's supposed to be a prospect. I don't know if he's good enough to be fifth, because I know people want 5. If Joey G stays, does he make 4? Then who is that third? I mean, we've been linked heavily with Guéhi, the captain of Palace. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but to me, I still looking at Ibu and saying, I want you signed up, please. Because then I feel more comfortable with my 1-2 punch at the back. Then we can deal with the rest. That's me.
All right, man. So big up to the chat, man. I want to know what you guys think as well. Put a poll in the chat. So far, 59% strong is going. Attack needs to be sorted out. 17% said midfield, and 24% says defense. So keep voting, guys. Let's see what that ends up. Big up to G for joining as well, bro.
Big up Quasi, big up Pops, big up Ends, man. Hope you guys are blessed.
Quasi, man, over to you, my broski. Where do you think we need to go and assess now? Because Pops makes a great point, to be fair as well. You got one defender we've literally sold on the verge of leaving. We got one defender that needs to sign a new deal. That means we technically, let's say we have one secure and one guy that's been the longest serving guy and he wants to stay. He just wants to stay. But we know fitness-wise, some injuries are kind of, set him back over the years, right? So we're going off the basis. We've got one defender, one leg. We've got one leg right now, and the rest of them, one's on the way out, one doesn't want to sign, and one just wants to stay, but we can't trust it. Where are you going? Attack, defense, midfield?
I agree with Pop. As much as you guys know me and my soapbox about Isak, defense wins you championships. So we need to sort out Konate very, very soon. The decision needs to be made. Either you pay him or let him go for free. Then we know we're just going for 21 with him, and he leaves for free. And then those type of decisions that we've been making, letting people run their contract down to their 4th year, got to stop, right? Dealing with it. If that player doesn't make sense that they want to stay, let him go. Then we move on to the next, right? At this point, fix the problem. Will he want to sign? Will you want to pay him? If not, then Konate is the deal. Go wherever you want. But you're going to stay and give us 21, and then we will focus on the third option. And then, of course, we have a 4th option who's a very experienced senior citizen who's been in the club for 10 years. I think he's a long service player right now. And he understands what the mission is. I think at this point, I'm looking at him like he understands that his body is not going to allow him to do what his will wants him to do. The will is the soul is willing, the body is like, player, we can do it, right? So I think he is coming to terms that he might not even be in the Prem not too long anymore, right? So he said, I will stay. I can play the cup games. I can play the come off the bench. He could also supplement us on the left side or on the right side. He's very good at doing that, right? So the 4th option right now, since Joey G, it looks like he's staying, we good. Now, the 3rd option is the priority. Now, like yesterday, the conversation with G and Zuberi, yourself, and I was in there, is the third option. Now, the third option and the second option have to be very close to each other because we cannot have a drop-off when somebody goes off, especially knowing who the first option is. And then our first option is also a geriatrics, right? He's old, right? It's a very old one leg that we have. And we have to make sure that we keep him fit. We cannot burn him. We cannot burn him like the previous years where he's played 60-odd games every single year. Whatever he's doing, I'm pretty sure he's on the LeBron James diet. Whatever he's doing, keep doing it to the best. But for the time, it's undefeated. And we have to protect him. So whoever is coming in as a third option has to be very close to the second option, or even better. So when the first option goes to take a rest, we know that we're good, because defense will win us the championship. And keeping those guys, we good. We got 2 new left and right, 1-2 punch on the left side. We got Bradley, who's also there. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know what's going to happen with Simicas and Robo, but let's just say they're gone. I still believe Joey G can do something on the left. That thing that is focused is the third option. After that, go get me Isak.
Appreciate you subscribing, by the way, my bro. G, man, we're in love with the signings at the moment. We're vibing, but at the moment we're looking at what areas we need to go and assess right now, because is it the attack, is it the midfield, or is it the defense, bro? And it sounds of it like KWASI saying the same thing, Pops is saying the same thing. Where are you going, bro? What position, what part of the pitch do we need to assess now? Because we want to go and win stuff now. You know what I mean? We want to go and smoke up some teams.
Probably between, I would say, striker and midfield, though. I'm not really that bothered about the defense right now. I feel like you can find something in the market. I don't really feel like it's going to be the type of player that you're going to look for. I don't really feel like it's in defense anyway. Like it's third choice option, really, isn't it? So you can kind of really get kind of anybody in that kind of position. I don't really think you're looking for someone like who's going to be Konate level. I don't think he's going to do that, because that would be kind of pointless, because you've got Konate and you can't have 2 Konates, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Because one has to play, the other one's not going to want to sit on the bench, all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like you can find a player like that. So I'm not actually that bothered about defense. I'll keep it up. But striker, there's only one striker I want. So I'm like, if you don't get him, I don't actually care. Like, don't just sign anybody. Like, it doesn't really matter in it at that point, because then anybody you get, I'm not gonna like anyway. So the options are not that great as it is. But it's midfield. That's the area that I'm like, nah. That's the area Liverpool have to improve, that area of the pitch. You improve that, you see all these defensive worries and silly goals that we concede. I think that stops. I think that does stop, not dramatically, but I think you'll notice a difference, so to speak, in that kind of area. So I'll go midfield. That's the area I want to see Liverpool. I want to, like, if we sign that, that's when I look at Liverpool more seriously. The striker and stuff is like, that's kind of easy. Like, you go and get Isak, everyone's like, and that's it. Cool, that's easy. That's an easy kind of thing. Defense, again, you can go and sign someone you've said Hato before. People said Mark Guéhi. Like, they're 2 different levels. So what level does everybody actually? You know what I mean? What level are we even looking for? It's midfield, man. That's where I look at a team. That's the hub of the team right there. I need to know how are you trying to play next season? The midfield is what's going to tell me how Liverpool are going to play. At the moment, I don't know. I'm still like, we've got these midfielders. Okay, you've sorted out. You got Wirtz, fantastic signing. You got Frimpong, great signing. You got Kerkez, decent signing. So you're like, you kind of know that these guys are going to play probably the same way. You get a midfielder in, I feel like it changes maybe the dynamic and the kind of approach that we as fans even look at it. Because now you're like, okay. For example, if you get like a Caicedo type number, like midfielder, all of a sudden you're like, you're going to try to play like that now. Okay, fair enough. We're trying to make sure that, we're strong in the middle of the park. If you get I keep saying it, but like a Vitinha type midfielder, we're trying to keep the ball. Okay, we're really trying to ball out next season. I need to know where your kind of, your head is at when we talk about, you know, the team and stuff moving forward. And I think once we do that, I think that's when I can really start taking the team seriously. And then I know, okay, we really are trying to, you know, make sure that we can, you know, try battle on all fronts, you know, for next season.
No, do you know what? That's I think that's a fair point as well. We're gonna double check in terms of where's everyone? Has anyone changed their mind after listening to the guys? More votes, still 58% saying the attack, man. Defense 29%, midfield 40%. I'll go back to you, man. You mentioned defense, right? What do we have to go and do with the defense then to make you feel a bit more assured in terms of where we're going? What does that look like to you? Because at the moment, you mentioned some great points, especially Ibu not signing a new deal.
In surety for me, like, so if I look at the team, everybody said good things. So striker, yes, obviously we were looking at a striker last season. Midfielder, listening to G, it sounds like he got a man in mind. So I don't have a player. They got players I like, but I don't have one player who will say, oh, he does this, that means everything switches. Me, I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm looking at numbers and saying, all right, if we were to start as it is right now, are we good enough to do what we want to do? We still scored a lot of goals last season, even though we didn't have the number 9. Yes, we conceded a few, but we didn't have the best 6 or whatever. And defensively, it was, all right, yeah, but all of a sudden, people seem to think that our right back was useless. All of a sudden, I know why, but the right back was a problem. and then everything's, I guess everything's now solved because the right back is gone. So in all honesty, it sounds like we aren't, but everybody still wants 6 or 7 different players in 6 or 7 different positions. For me, it's just the numbers. I'm looking at Salah and Van Dijk and saying, all right, I want these. And the reason why I said that I wanted us to win last year was these 2 men at the peak. They're the best in class. Alisson is the best in class. If you find the best, and this is probably G's point, if you find the best in class in the middle of the park, you got the spine of the best in class, then it's the domination thing. Because the plug and play, the pieces on the outside. My issue still is with the Ibu and Van Dijk is I want 60 next season, 60 games next season. And I don't want Virg playing 60 games next season. It's time we can start looking at him and saying, all right, he's not quite the granddaddy yet, as KWASI was describing, but it's still, I want to preserve Virg. I think Virg got 4 more years. I think he got 4 more years. I could be wrong, but we got 2 we got 2 for sure. I think he got 4. Now, the other 2 might not be with us. What I'm saying is, by the time we get to year 2, I don't want us to be saying, all right, what are we doing now? Like scrambling around, thinking about what we want to do. We should be thinking about, all right, how do we transition from where we are? Because dominance means transitioning properly all the way through, not up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's why, to me, it's sort of like, can I get a defender that then makes Ibu say, yeah, I'm signing up. I got Wirtz up front here. I got these young fellas next to me. This fella here coming to push me, possibly take my spot, possibly take his spot. But we got 60 games between us. 2 of them can't play 60. Virg and Ibu cannot be on the pitch 60 times next season, just game all the time, running up and down. I get what G is saying. Well, yeah, the third man might be or whatever, but I don't want him to be just there. Because when he comes on, then his panic stations. Oh my God, Virg, then arrest John Brown. There now he's rubbish, man.
John Brown, you know.
But if he's somebody else, then it's, you know, you got that calm feeling where you're saying, well, yeah, it's that guy. He's good enough. Now, whether that's Guéhi or not, or whether that's Hato or not, I don't know. I don't watch football to the level where I can say, yeah, I'm a scout and I like him or whatever. You got a couple of players you see and you say to yourself, yeah, boy, he will look good in our team, I think. He will fit or whoever. If it's Guéhi, if he's the guy that our team has looked at and said, yeah, he's the next one, all right, well, cool. If it isn't, well, we'll wait and see. But I think Ibu, this is just me personally, Ibu for 200 is $50 million in contract.
Yeah.
If you extend, I don't know what's out there for $50 million that is going to be as good as or better than him. And that's my concern. Because Bastoni isn't going to be 50 million or whoever the guy is that you have as that next top level guy, it's not 50 million.
No, great.
No, that's a good point. The part where I think Pops kind of alluded a little bit that I disagree with G on the third option, just get anybody, is because We
Bro, are we talking about Liverpool or me? Like, can we
No,
make
your
it
point.
a base? You know what I mean? Like,
No, you made a great point. The thing is, you made a great point. When you have a great argument, you know, this is like before it becomes a law, we have to pick it apart before it becomes, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is your point is great. However, the reason why I won't go with just anybody for the third option is the fact that we need to start transition in what is going to be Liverpool after Virgil. You don't want to wait and then now, okay, we have to sell this third option and then go find the next Virgil, which you can see the center back position and the striker position, the market is poor, like extremely poor. We're never going to get another Virgil. So the closest person. So then can you convince Konate? So when the third option comes in, as Pops is saying, Konate is looking at him like, you know what? You and I can partner for a long time. So I'm signing this contract. Or this guy can take my position, right? If not, Liverpool, go for 21 with Konate and say, Konate, Senora, thank you for everything you've done for us. You know, we go find the next one. So that's what I'm saying. Not that I'm fully disagreeing with what you said. And midfield is important, but right now I think midfield is not even. I will even do this. Baliba is one of my favorite. I will get Baliba and keep him at Brighton for 1 year so that he gets game time. Because if he comes right now, he's not getting any game time. Unless you get somebody like your boy that you mentioned, then you know. But then you got McAllister, you got the names in the Liverpool midfield is getting heavy. It's getting really heavy. So I will go with a center back that is very close to the second option as much as possible, because we all know, as Pop was saying, we can have those 1 and 2 play 60 games. And you can't bring your third option coming in and there's a big gap and we are always worried. Then guess what, G? That midfield becomes a problem.
Do you think,
just before you ask that, because I want to go back to you, because you mentioned the defense, but I want to know, because I want to get to G and I want to ask him about the midfield and how he sees we should move forward. But you mentioned defense. Pops gave his reasoning and how he thinks we should move forward. He didn't really give a player, but he said, look, I'm not out here scouting players like that, but I can give you the solution. What's your solution then to fix it? Because you mentioned the defense is an issue as well.
Well, if by solution, if you ask by, say, player, the two players that I wanted, one of them just left to Atletico Madrid, which is Nkape, right?
Okay, same.
You know what I mean? And now I think Guéhi is that guy. Reason why is I'm looking at the dominance of the Premier League, which is he is a very experienced center back in the Premier League, and he's also international. So if he was to play Champions League, I won't worry because he is an international center back. He's played with against different style of attackers per se. So Guéhi, for me, it's a very good option. Now, I don't want to get into the yesterday debate. Will he want to come in and sit on the bench, which is a whole different conversation. But if you're looking at a solution, like I said, Nkape would be one of them, right? If Virgil has to take a break, Nkape can play on the left, which I believe he does when he was at Leverkusen. If Ibu has to play, if he has to play, then shift him on the right, or even Virgil can shift on the right. Even though we keep seeing Virgil on the left, Virgil used to play on the right side. So you got 3 very good center backs that now rotation is the key. As much as I'm saying dominance is the key, rotation is part of that dominance, because that was what the manager didn't do enough last season. And I believe from certain interview, he says moving forward, that's what he needs to incorporate into the team.
Nah, fairs. What about you then, G? Because you mentioned the midfield, and you always mention the midfield that kills it, because I know what player you want. I know what style of player you need in there. So, G, I'm gonna ask you, bro. Because looking at what we currently have, and obviously I know you're not dissing the players. I know obviously people frustrate you at times. So you just say stuff to trigger them. I get it. I hear it. But what would you do to kind of solve that midfield? Because I do agree with you to some extent, but I've always my pushback has always been, no, we got players that can play that way. But your reasoning is, but you've never seen it, and I'm like, my reason is, yeah, but I don't think the gaffers has asked them. The 2 gaffers we have never asked them. So what do we need to do going forward with this midfield? Because now we brought in one of the best creators, one of the best 10s in the world, if not the best 10 in the world, depending on where people want to rank him. We've got McAllister, which is a player that I think on many has probably misprofiled him, but still a very good standard. You've got Gravenberch that can play multiple, position, but he's found his home in like the double pivot 6. And then Soboslai is like the unicorn. You don't know where to kind of put him. Like we tried him in the 10, we tried him in the 8. We probably need to put him in a double 6. We don't know what to do. So what would you go out there and get to put that all together then, that midfield? And obviously we've got Curtis and Elliot, no disrespect to them. But what would you go out there and get? Or if there is a player or formation system, what is it that we need to do?
I think you just said Curtis, yeah. I've not been his biggest fan, not because of his talent, because he's wildly talented. I do think he's been misprofiled for like more or less his whole Liverpool career. The guy started off as an attacking midfielder. All of a sudden now I'm seeing him play right back for England. Do you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When I'm talking about that style of midfielder, he is actually the style of midfielder I'm talking about in terms of someone who can actually dictate the tempo of a game. And he can do the whole rough and tumble thing. We've seen him do it under Klopp and he's done under Slot. I know he can do that. I just don't think, as you said correctly, he's just not being asked to do that. He's kind of, I'm almost like, he's almost being asked to do like various different things at different points in the seat. Like, okay, this time you're playing left central midfield, so do this. All right, well, this time we're going to put you more as a 6, but you can move into the 8 again, just like Szoboszlai, you're being moved around, bro. Like, stay one position. So if we're looking for in-house solutions, he's actually the player I would want in the midfield to do that role, because I think he can do that role perfectly. He's someone who can keep the ball very, very well. He can do the 1-2 touches. He can do the tiki-taka football if you like that kind of style, and he can also progress play really, really well. And I think someone like that, if you just get him doing that, I think you see him go to a different level of a player. At the moment, he holds on to the ball, but Liverpool want to play on the transition. It's two negatives. I mean, it doesn't even make sense at that point. That's why people get frustrated with him. Oh, he's holding on to the ball too long. These times, the whole team's already run up the pitch. You know what I mean? So everyone's starting to get mad. So I think if we've said this before, if he was in Manchester City's team, bro, I think he would be seen as a better player than Foden. At the moment, he's probably not. But that's just more because of Foden, what he's done, etc., etc. I think he's a better player than Foden because I think he's got more tools to his game. But let's say you don't go with that and you try to sign someone. I'll be so real. If I could sign anybody, there's obviously players, but I'll be looking at like Bruno Guimaraes or like I'll be looking at like Tonali, or you can get Wharton. I like Wharton as well. You can get someone like him, but I like Bruno Guimaraes because I feel like he gives you the best of both worlds, which is defensively, he's super calm, but also he's so good on the ball. He can dictate the tempo of a game. He can get forward if I need him to get forward. He is really that type of player. And I think when I'm looking at players, he is someone in that kind of mold where I'm looking at, I'm like, get that. Spend whatever it is to get that type of player. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, it makes sense. If I flip it round, listening to what G's saying as well, do you agree with what he's saying, or is there another idea you got in your head in terms of can the midfield that we have now do the things that G's asking for without going out there and getting a player? Or do you think what G's saying in terms of like a Wharton, should we go in a Bruno Guimaraes that can come in and do that role as well?
Sorry that G gone off. I just wanted to ask him a question. I'm just curious in terms of Bruno G and then like what system is he looking at? The 1-6, 6-6, 1-6-2-8. Like, I'm just curious as to what he thinks or what he wants to see us do as far as our midfield system.
I'm gonna guess for you, Paul. I'm gonna guess because the teams that he normally mentions in terms of stylistically is teams that they will have the double to PSG. They will have the double, but sometimes they just have the loan and then push the 2-8 as well. Yeah, so it rotates into the double pivot or the lone 6 as well. So you can probably take that with a pinch of salt until he comes back to answer himself.
I mean, as a group of fans, I think we've looked at Fab and said we haven't replaced Fab, and we like that. And I think we've done the hold on to the past. Yeah, the red arrows. We love Bobby and Mane and Salah. We love Fabinho. It's all like so. It's all like you gotta let go of that sometimes and figure out what's the next thing for us. Bruno G is for me Newcastle got one of the best midfields in the Prem. When you look at him and Tonali together, and then you add Joe Linton to it, you say to yourself, Jesus, you ain't for a fight today. Now, if you ain't got on your boots and your gloves to fight, just stay home, because these men can give you all the shit and they can play football.
100.
And so
For us, it's more like we can give you a game with style, but we ain't got a lot of fight. And if you look at our profile still, no one in our midfield looks like the bully. And that's what we still start missing, generally speaking, in football. Every good team has one of them ones where you can say, yeah, he can do some good things, but he can also kick the shit out of you. We don't have that. So I agree. I do also agree that Curtis Jones has been asked to do way too much in his young football career. I've never seen a man play left wing and still right back. Never, ever in my life have I seen that. Never. No, seriously.
Left.
Swiss Army knife is mad. And people go at him, and I said to myself, just look at what he's done, where he's played and what he's had to do. And you say to yourself, he's bad? Come on, man. He might not be what you want in each of these spots, but he's done each of those things well enough for each of those coaches at international level and with us to pick him all the time. He's not necessarily the first one, but he's always part of the crew. He is at least the fourth. When you go, Grabber, you go Matt, you go Sabos, like who's next? CJ is the next man that you can call. It's them four. Now, where is Wirtz though? Is Wirtz part of the attacking six, or is he part of the midfield six? That's another question too. So to me, that's also important in terms of, all right, when I'm looking at the numbers, that's what just all right, 4, 8 at the back, 6 in the middle, and 6 up front. Is he one of the 6 in the front, or is he one of the 6 in the middle? Because then to me, that also dictates how much you're going to spend on or what you're looking for in your next position. Because if he's one of the 6 in the middle, you might already say, well, I already got enough in the middle. Now, we might not agree because we are looking at that guy, whoever that guy is, whether it's Wharton or Tonali or Bruno G or Baleba, whoever it is, we might say he might be the key for us. But if he's the key, then what does it mean for all the others? Because everybody loves it. I know Enz loves Grabber, so yeah, they got a set that loves Sabozala, and some don't. Then there's a set for McAllister. Now you've added Wirtz. Is Wirtz one of them, or is he one of the front? So what's the dynamic now in the middle? I think that's really what it is. I don't know what Mr. Locke is going to do in preseason. I guess you'll see it, and then you'll be able to say, well, yeah, you know what? Let's get that guy. If we get that guy, I think all the pieces fall together perfectly. Which is why, like I said, I just want to ask G, like, is it 6'6", 6'8", 6'8", 10, 6'2", 8s? You know, modern football is everything. All this. To me, it used to be 4-4-2. So the 2 men in the middle used to be able to do everything. Kick the shit out to you and score a goal.
Well, okay, tell me the numbers then, so Pop, so I know, and then KWASI, you can go as well after. What's the numbers you are talking? So defense, how many we need round there, you think?
It's 2 for each spot, so it's 8, and then people want a 5th midfielder.
So we got that, and then midfield, how many we need?
Then it's 6 and 6. People say 3 each. I'm losing what Mr. Locke said last season. He wants 2 in every spot. That's what he said. And when we looked at it, we had them. You could call 6 for the front, 6 in the middle, and you had 8 at the back. Now each of them didn't fit profile wise, but you had the numbers. So the question is, where does Wirtz fit, front or middle? And then what does that mean? Because is he the 10? So is it 6, 8, 10 in the middle? So him and Harvey Elliott are the 2 10s? Is Sabozale the other 10? Because him and Sabozale are 2 different things as 10s. Profile wise. Just makes it interesting in terms of conversation.
All right, chat. I want to let it go scroll across the bottom. So what do you guys think as well in the chat? In terms of the numbers, what's the numbers that we require to go and really compete on all fronts next season? So we're going 8 defense, 6 in the midfield, and 6 as attackers, and that's what we can roll with. KWASI, over to you, bro. What was you gonna say?
So using Pop's numbers, center back we're missing one because as it stands, Joey's staying. So we need one more center back. Right back we good because we got Bradley and Crimple. Left back we are overpopulated. So one has to go on that side, and possibly 2. Like I say, if Joey G is staying, you could send him over there. We still have Owen Beck that maybe Slot will see during the preseason. Let me see what this kid can do, right? Midfield, that part, it depends on what Slot want to do. He did 3 different formations during the season: 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, and 4-2-2, 4-4-2-4, whatever. So then that will be, if you do 4-2-4, then Wirtz becomes part of the attack, right? But if you go 4-2-3-1, do you need a bully? That means Gravenberch has to sit because you need McAllister to hold the ball, to rotate it, right? Something that Kerkez can do. And then in number 10, you got them obvious names. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and Wirtz.
Yeah.
So that's why I am not putting too much emphasis on the midfield, because we still got Endo, which personally I think he's the best closer in the league, right? He comes in, shuts the game down, nothing pretty, let's win this game. You need those type of players. So if we need a bully, that will be the person to replace. Now, Kerkez part, it's a very dynamics, because I think he's always been in the right places at the same time in the wrong places. He's in the right club, Liverpool, right? But he's with the wrong managers, because this kid should not be playing right back and defensive midfield. He should be playing number 10. And they should have developed that position, because the reason why a player that holds the ball too long is usually a number 10, because they go in circles and circles and circles until they find something. When he's in a little bit further back, he makes a mistake, and then the ball is going to the other side. And if you remember when what's his name? The guy who always got injured.
What? Who are you doing for us?
For us, yeah. He always got injured. The second best midfielder that we brought from Germany.
Emre Can?
No. From Leipzig.
Why am my brain going blank? Who did we sign from Leipzig? Chat, you might stay help us out.
Nabi. See?
Right, so how bad it is, man. I forgot about that. It didn't exist. Right. Nabi. Sorry, Nabi. Jesus.
Nabi, the mistake what club did was try to put Nabi in where Fabinho plays. Because Nabi holds the ball, he wants to open up spaces, he wants to hold it a little bit to make sure what he sees. But you play in the Prem, nobody's going to give you that kind of time, right? So a lot of times when he gets the ball, he makes a mistake, the ball is going straight back to defense. And eventually Klopp realized that, oh, I'm screwing up. Let me put him a little bit further forward, where he became a little bit more of an 8, right? So for me, I think center back right now, we need a center back. And then we go on attack, because then that's your first form of our defense. So if you have a killer up front, usually the teams that you're going to play against already are in defensive mode, because they know any little mistake, this is a goal. Right? We cannot go into another season with Salah being the only one pumping up the goals, because then teams already read us. Now, the part where maybe G makes sense, like saying, okay, let's get a third option for now, anybody, that will be more for the attack, because you just need somebody who could give you 15 goals at least for now, right? Because that take pressure off Salah a little bit. Then you got Wirtz there who could also probably give you between 12 to 15. So then the goals are shared. But right now, if we want to dominate, we need somebody who could score goals at a higher clip. Because then now teams are scared. Oh, should we double team Salah or should we double team the striker? At the same time, you got Gakpo or Diaz who could also possibly give you 10 goals. So now the defenders are stretched. Then eventually you could go for a bully or a Vitinha type. And I'm pretty sure G wants more of a checky type of player, somebody who has flair, who could hold the ball just like Kerkez. The problem is Kerkez.
Vitinha. It's more Vitinha he would.
Oh, Vitinha. Okay. Vitinha is also, Turkey is just fancier than the style of the profile, how he is. He's kind of a little bit more fancier than what Vitinha. Vitinha is all hard work, right? Hard work and still flair at the same time. But the defense needs to be solidified. Reason why, if it was maybe 2 years ago, I agree with G, because Virgil's younger. But now it's World Cup season. That means the Dutch are going to run the hell out of Virgil. So whoever comes in has to be there. So in numbers time, you need one more center back. And then now the question is, are we going to promote Young Rio? Because then the attack, if Chiesa and Nunes leave, then we're down to 4.
Do you think we might promote? Do you know what? It's a good question, because I still don't know whether we're going to promote him or not. And I think the kid needs something, bro. If you're not going to promote him, loan him.
That's the point. Then he's not going to grow.
Yeah, right? We'd have to loan him. Can't keep him sitting in the background.
I don't want to loan him, because when Liverpool loaning players is bad record. We loan it to the bottom part and they don't learn anything. You cannot tell me who have we loaned it to the bottom part who have come out guns all blazing. Maybe I'm going blank. Somebody please help me. And even in the whole England pyramid, there's been only a few players who have come out gun blazing. The one that comes to mind is Harry Kane. That's why I'm so happy for Kwanzaa if he does make it to Leverkusen. And I was hoping Elliott to also learn something like that, but he wants to possibly stay in the Prem. But Young Rio, and you're right, we need to promote him. We can't keep saying they're too young, brother. We have a 17-year-old who's taking the world by storm. And it's not even just him. If you look at his team midfield, I don't think none of them are 22 yet.
What midfield?
Barcelona's midfield. Pedri, Gavi, them brothers. How old are they?
No, they're young still, but they...
You see what I'm saying? Eventually, you got to take the risk. And it's up to the management team to realize that, okay, it's a little bit too risky. Let's depend on the game. That's fine. But we can't keep saying he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. You're not going to get ready until you take the test.
All right, what if we then, and chat, I'll ask you guys this as well. Say we finish in the market, right? We're looking at players that we want to go and get in. So attackers, defenders, and maybe one more midfielders. Is there anyone from on loan currently? Is there anyone you think within the youth team, do you guys look at and go, should we just give these guys the opportunity going into next season? Or do you still believe we need to go out there and find the solution elsewhere? So we're talking about maybe adding one more. So we're talking about maybe another attacker. We're talking about another midfielder. And we're talking about adding maybe 1 or 2 defenders in there. Is there anyone that you guys, obviously being Liverpool supporters, is there anyone that you guys look at and go, right, you know what, these brothers are doing really well on their loans? I know you mentioned Owen Beck, KWASI there. I know a lot of people like Jaden Dans. I know a lot of people like I say a lot of people like Bicetic, only a few. You got Rio, people have mentioned as well that, potentially he's there as well. And you also got Ben Doak. Like, he's not back yet as well. So does he come in and show what he's been doing? I don't know. So I'd love to know what the chat thinks. I'll go to G with that one, G.
Trey.
Pops had a question. And Trey as well. I need to get in the driller Trey as well, man.
Trey's, in my opinion, the best young player that Liverpool have at the club. He's the only one I look at and think, I think he could be playing games next season. I genuinely believe the type of player that he is, for Liverpool it's a bit difficult because of who we are, but he can get games, man. He's a good, I proper fucks with Trey. He's the only one I look at. The rest, I'm like, you can, Trey and Rio, they're the only 2 kind of thing. I'm like, you know what, those 2? Yeah, those 2 you can see they've got, I don't know how to put it, man. I'll be honest, where I follow Barcelona, where like they've got players in their team that are not Lamine Yamal level, like Hector Fort as an example, but they're still good enough to play games for for Barcelona because they're of a certain like level. Trey and Rio for me have got that level where I'm like, they can play for Liverpool, because of their style of playing, the type of players that they are. I feel like they can definitely play. So I think those are the only 2. The rest, I'm not really convinced at all by any of them. I agree. So it's just those 2 for me.
Right. What about you, Pops, as well? I don't know if you heard the question. I know you were just away as well. I was saying, obviously, we've spoken about getting in maybe one more attacker, one more midfielder, one more defender. Is there any player that you see out on loan currently that you go, actually, we should bring this guy in and use him within that squad? I know we got Rio, we mentioned Trey, we mentioned Bajcetic, Ben Dolk is there, Kumas is there, the chat has mentioned as well. Is there anyone out there? Are we saying solution outside? Dan's as well, yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Because at one point last season, man was saying drop Nunes and play Dan.
Oh, Pops, remember you remember the conversations. You remember conversations, boy.
There was men that was saying get rid of Nunes, we got Jaden Dan. So I don't know. You see, the problem is you spend Wirtz money, you know what happened? Everybody gone nuts now. Football, FM, or whatever, everybody gone mad. Let's get this, get that, get this. Wirtz. And that's the problem you got now. So to say, we can slip in Ben Doak and Rio and Trey, fans can say, huh? Nah. Nah. Let me go and buy this. And I was literally in a conversation with another set of Liverpool fans, and I said, all right, as it stands right now, we haven't let anybody in the front leave. As it stands, we still have Nunes, Chiesa, and Jota, Gakpo and Lucho as our front six, as it stands right now. Whether we like it or not, that's our current six. Now, I was actually talking about this before you left. Is Wirtz for you part of the front six, or is he part of the midfield six or seven, or whatever that number is going to be? He's part of the front six.
Yeah.
All right. So theoretically, Nunes is agreed with Napoli. So we got Nunes gone and Wirtz in. We've got again 6 up front. Again, that's still with everybody else there. Are we keeping Chiesa? Are we keeping Jota? Are we keeping Lucho? Because to me, then that depends on what's going to happen to the likes of a Rio and a Ben Doak and a Jaden Dans and Trey and Bajcetic. You look at them in the midfield along with the midfielders that we have. Is there minutes for them really and truly?
No.
Yes, in a cup game or wherever they're going to get a run, but I can't see us penning in, Rio on the left. Who, Rio? Who? What? Okay. Now, and I like him a lot. He is exciting. You put him on the pitch, you say to yourself, I'm looking on the left. I'm just give him, just pass it on the left. Left. Let me see what he can do. But I can't see him being part of our Premiership push yet. Just me. I could be wrong, and I wouldn't mind being wrong because I like him a lot. But if he's on the left, then does that mean Lucho is then part of the 9? So if you move Lucho in and then decided that that's the in-house solution, I'm not going to buy a man because I can't get Isak, and I'm not bothered with Ekatike or whoever, Sesko or Kerkez or whoever else is next, because the numbers are still numbering. You're still looking at 80 million plus for the man that you don't really want. You want Isak or 80 million for this other guy. You want the other guy? Because this isn't like the centre backs. For me, well, you got to tell me. The centre back situation is 25 million or so. We can still get a good man, right? 20 to 35 million. You can still get a centre back that's decent, quality, whatever. That doesn't happen in the 9.
Yeah, and I agree.
There isn't
I agree. That's what I said. Isak or nothing.
Like,
and I don't want anything.
So if there is no Isak right now, that's the nothing. Is it in-house solution time where, let's push Lucho into the false 9. Rio then gets minutes on the left. Dan's gets a little bit in between or whatever, and we got a front 7 because Chiesa stays.
But you made a good point though, Pops, earlier. Like just before I left, you made a good point. Liverpool don't struggle to score though, and I feel like people skip over that part. We don't struggle to score. That's why, for me, I'm exactly what Pop said. Get Isak. I don't really want Ekatike. Like I feel like you're just getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th choice. Like I'm not saying he's dead, by the way. Like he is actually.
No, me neither. Just to be sure.
Yeah. But it's like I don't really like. Just go and get Isak. If you can't get him, I'll be honest. I'd rather you just look at it and think, what can I just do here? Because the reality is we don't struggle really to score. So listen, I'll cuss the forward line every game if I have to. But I can't sit here and lie and tell you, yeah, but we struggle to score. We don't. We actually don't struggle to score. And if you add Florian Wirtz to that, I feel like you're just gonna. It stays the same, or he's just going to replace, or if not add more than what a Nunes plus Chiesa plus whoever was scoring anyway. So really, that's why I'm like, I feel like Liverpool anyway, they're smart. I feel like they're looking at this whole situation, and I'm hoping that they're looking at it thinking, if we can't negotiate with that, we need to then sort out other areas of the pitch, which makes us so much stronger that the attack isn't going to be something that we're going to be like, oh my God, we haven't got a number 9 and this, that. Right. I don't feel like that number 9 position. I don't feel like everybody, I feel like we're so bogged down because we don't rate Nunes. I feel like that's actually our problem. We don't like Nunes, so we just want a number 9 to come in. I love Isak. I think he is a baller. But if you can't negotiate to get him, I'm like,
you should go for it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like you can, I'll be honest, but you can just play Wirtz there. Like he plays that kind of position anyway. Just move it, make the team more fluid anyway by having a full. Everyone wants the team to be fluid, right? We'll just get a false 9 who's actually fluid. Let him play that role. Dembele is not a number 9, but guess what he's doing at number 9 position right now? Ballon d'Or setting. So you can do the same thing with Florian Wirtz. But by the way, people, just so that you get it. Sign Isak if you can sign Isak. But I'm just saying, if you don't get him, then move on. Like I don't care about the number 9 position. That's why I've not really spoken too much about. I'm like, there's not many good strikers. You know what I mean?
Listen, you'll make a great point. Big up to the chat, by the way. Let me go and quickly see what the poll's saying at the moment. Still 55% saying the attack is what they'll go and fix next. Midfield 12%. So they're kind of calm with the midfield now. But 32% is saying defense as well. So it looks like those are the 2 major thing that they need to go and fix. And yeah, you're right. I think most people, we're bogged down on it because we want. Yeah, I want a new striker as well, man. I think we need someone that's willing to come in and put the ball in the back of the net. And just a quick one, guys. Big up to everyone watching as well. There's nearly 300 of you guys in the building. Big up. If you're enjoying the stream, all I ask, can you just put a thumbs up, a nice little like on the video. If you're not, put a thumbs down. It is what it is. Either way, it's fine, innit? Thumbs down or thumbs up if you're enjoying it. You don't have to wait till the end. You don't have to wait for the right moment. And I get it. If someone says something to trigger you, you might change the thumb. You might take away the like just because they triggered you. Hopefully no one's triggered you. Hopefully not. But yeah. All right, G. Big up, man. Big up. When you're ready, bro. Love for the love, man. For jumping.
Yeah, big up, G.
Go on, Kwasi.
I mean, the thing is, I'm with G. If it's Isak or nothing. Osimhen, I'm not a big fan. It has nothing to do with Nigerian jollof.
The fact that you said that now makes people think that it's going to be about the Nigerian jollof. Just be honest. Be honest. Be honest. I don't like Nigerian jollof either. Like, it's fine. Like, cool.
Yeah,
rice and peas is better still, but
Ekitike is not
carry
ready.
on, Kwasi.
Yeah. Ekitike is not ready. I think it's just a hype. It's a big risk. Even at 50 million, it's a very big risk. Gyökeres, I think, is the PTSD of Nunes. So for me, if we don't get the striker we want, then I agree with G. Go get a midfielder that can do the job, right? Whether if it's his boy Vitinha or even Wharton. Everybody wants Wharton. But I prefer, what's his name? Baliba. Okay. But for me, the center back has to be solid because I don't want to say I'm worried about injuries, but I have to. Right? I don't want to say I am. I'm not because they've done well, but I still has to be part of the.
How do you put that in a sentence, though, Kwasi? I'm not, but I am.
Well, because last year they were not.
I'm not, but I am, bro. That's so crazy.
Last year we didn't have the 2 main people, the 2 characters that we're talking about.
Yeah,
it just happened that some clown decided to kick during the end of the game. Some clown kicked one of our center backs. Otherwise, he would have literally gone the whole season without any heavy injury, right? His muscles were very good for the best part of the league. So that's why I'm saying I am not, because it seems that they figured that part out. Usually the injury that I get worried about is the impact injury. Because that one you can plan for it. It could come at any time. So that's why I say I am, but I'm not. So center back, yes, because I'm also with the mindset of defense wins you the league, our championship. But if we don't get Isak, then I'm rolling with G. Go get me a midfielder that will not expose our center backs. So then, yeah, go get a cheap center back for now. Like, what was that guy? I used to call him Ravragnok, Klavan. Remember Klavan when Klopp first get there? Yeah. Then go get somebody like that. Then you know he knows
I
what.
don't know if I can deal with that still. I don't know.
Yeah. No, by the way, people, I'm not saying get that level of player. Don't put me in KWASI. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want a better defender. I'm saying you can go and sign.
You know what I mean? Cheaper, no, Gee, the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm looking at the center back position and he's very meaty, using your own term. He's very, very meaty. Bastoni, I'm sorry, PSG exposed the hell out of you, man.
No, but that's PSG though. Like PSG exposed Liverpool. Like really and truly, they can expose.
If we want to dominate, we can't have too much exposure like that because all it takes is one. I mean, look at
KWASI. But you're saying it like we're getting like we're looking at Titus Bramble. Like Bastoni is like Bastoni. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a mad level, bro. Like, wait, I don't know.
I guess because I have the mindset that I'm going in this league. I mean, this coming season, I said everything that we're going in, we have to be top 2, right? Dominant. We're dominating everything. I mean, so even if like the whatever defender, midfielder, or striker that you bring in has to be adequate. Like, for instance, if I mention Big Shaqiri, was he an adequate player at the time that would, he'd be like, you fit in, you do a role. And let's be honest, he did his role when he had the opportunity. 2 goals against Man U, the 2 passes against Barcelona. I mean, he did things that you'd be like, this guy is special. Just injuries and lack of game time takes away from him to play more games. Those type of players, yes, I get that. So for me, we need the 3 positions that we need. The 2 of them have to be high caliber. So defense, midfield, attack. If we don't get the defender we want, and G said just get somebody who can do the job, then make sure you bring me Isak, because then he would take the pressure off the defense, and then get me a midfielder who is very, very good, who can push anybody in there, including whoever, right? If not, then it's the midfield and the defense. So out of those 3, 2 of them have to be high caliber. They don't have to be the best 1 and 2 best, but they have to be somewhere around there.
Do you know what? Because I know G's going to go soon. G, before you go, and I'm going to ask you guys on the panel.
I'm going to stay for an extra 5 minutes. All
right, let me ask this in chat. Don't lose your mind now. I'm going to ask you simple yes or no, chat. We go with what G's saying, right? If you can't get Isak, cool, no problem. Let's not go and get a secondary and a third option. Let's stick to it and until we can get the main option, if that's what we want to do. Are you guys willing to run the current 2 strikers we have in the team for 1 more season again, if we cannot get Isak?
Just a caveat, what ends is saying before he continues, I'm not saying even keep them the 2 options, or at least one of them cannot stay. Definitely cannot stay.
No, but here's the okay. And the Pops, I'm going to go what you mentioned earlier. Goals has not been the problem for Liverpool. So I'm going like that way. So I'm asking guys again. So G, Pops, KWASI, Shat. Do we run, if we can't get Isak, do we just run the same? We just run with the same attackers that we had. We've now got a new.
Okay. Can I also? Are we signing anybody else outside of these?
No, because we're looking for an attacker. We can't get the main attacker, so we stick with what we currently have.
Obviously, my answer is
okay. We got a yes. We got a big up to Firebird.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll stand on what I said. Yeah, I'm good. I'll just keep the attackers that we got. Fuck it. Like I can't because I can't find anybody else. Like I don't like anybody else. So
I know Wirtz almost made Boniface look like Osimhen. Don't fall for that trap, man. It's not gonna happen.
No, but I don't. But okay, guys, just hear what I'm saying to you. Just picture this. Just picture this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got if we can't sign obviously Isak, right? because who else is everyone going to sign that they want? But we can't sign Isak. Yeah, exactly. You got Salah on the right, regardless. We know that's done. You got Wirtz playing in that false 9 position, right? Then you've got who you guys pick whatever left winger you want, Gakpo or Diaz, whoever you want. That's the player we got on the left-hand side, right? When you finally do get that midfielder, you guys can't tell me that team all of a sudden now looks, okay, now we're serious. Now that looks good. Bearing in mind, off the bench, I don't want to say his name, but you have got if it's like we are in the FA Cup 3rd round against Accrington Stanley, you can play Nunes in those games. You can play Jota in any other Premier League game. I'm not like Jota. Let's not act like Jota is a bum. Jota is blatantly a boy. He's just not been fit with obviously with injuries, right? But we know that Jota is actually a good player.
G says you're frozen right now, bro. And then see, mad, bro. The internet.
G is usually my guy. G is usually my guy, right? But
let me take G down. Yeah, go on. When you're G back, thumbs up.
I made a statement on the 6th. We had Nunes out and Wirtz in. So for me, Nunes is already gone. That's why I said no. He's left the building already. You said you want to see Rio as well. This is the option that allows you to see it. If Nunes is gone and Wirtz is in and the rest are the same, then you've got the Dan's Rio option as the additional pieces for the Accrington Stanley 1st round of the FA Cup in January. You've got the solution. And as G said, if you've got Wirtz in the 9 and you got Gakpo on the left and more on the right, they're shitting bricks, whoever we're playing, looking and saying, oh, hell no. Let's be honest. They don't want to see them 3. And Lucho still sitting on the bench. And if we can get Jota with some vibranium over the summer, because yes, he can score. He just can't seem to stay away from these stupid, horrible injuries. He's not injury prone. It's just that he's accident prone. It feels like when he gets something.
Are you calling him Steve Urkel, man?
Something, whatever you want to call him. He gets the worst. Look at the injury last season.
Oh, yeah, out of nowhere.
Broken ribs, punctured lung, probably done for nearly the season. The season before was some other weird tackle as well. Man. But to me, Nunes is gone. That's why I said no, Ains. To me, Nunes has left the building already. That's why I said no. And I'm not saying I can't stand him or I didn't like him. To me, just looking at everything that's happened, he's finished with us as well. He's saying, you know what? I won the title. All this Handy Carroll and all that other stuff. Yeah, thanks. I gone though. Time for me to do something else. And I'm with it. I'm going to be good somewhere else. Because it didn't work. And I don't think it will suddenly work being on the bench. Because that's where he's going to be. Just sat on the bench and saying, all right, yeah, come on and give me a couple minutes. All right, against Brentford it worked. But he can't do that for me for an entire season. I don't see that being beneficial to him. But I gave you a solution that you wanted.
No, listen, I just
Rio as the additional piece and be good to go. I'm ready to. I'm ready.
Pops, I was only just asking just in case, bro. That's all it was, man. Because if we can't get our number 1 target, do we stick with what we got? And the chat lost their mind in there. 2 people said yes.
Everybody going mad, right?
Everyone said nah. Everyone said nah. We ain't trying to do that. Go on. What was you gonna say, Kwasi, bro?
I agree with Pops on that one. I will not say
agree.
Yeah, I agree on that one. If we going by replacement, like G said, he believes that Wirtz is going to be part of the top 6, then we already replaced one of the 6, right? Jota, for this season, we have to keep him because he's lethal when he's off the bench. Let's be honest. When Jota comes off the bench, he's lethal. He knows how to read what the defense been doing during the course of the game. So he coming in, any chance he gets in the right place, which usually he is, he will score the goal. So Jota, I will give Jota another year. Chiesa on the other. Now, if Chiesa is staying, okay, I got you. Let him stay. You never know. He can play the Stanley games and Blackpool games. That's fine. But I'm sorry, man. We can't be nice anymore, man. If we are in the mindset of spending 100 million plus we are in the realm of ruthlessness.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot allow players to be too comfortable. Right? We cannot allow the players to be too comfortable and kind of like, oh, we will figure it out. Yes, we'll figure it out, but it can be to the detriment of the rest of the team. Because one thing that I know for sure, we can't have another game like we did with Manchester United versus Liverpool at Anfield. That can happen again.
True.
That cannot happen again. You know what I mean? And it's a mindset, right? It's a mindset. So we have to build it in such a way where if Virgil, and let's say I'm using Virgil and Salah saying we want to keep winning, then the whole team have to have the same mindset. Not at one point where we drop and say, oh, we just playing these teams. So we no. I'm sorry. You got to respect every team you play, and you want to beat them just like Bayern Munich beat that poor amateur team 10-0.
10-0, you know.
You know what I mean? You got to respect that team. You beat them 10-0, and then they shake your hand, say, yes, thank you for beating my hand. You know what I mean? But we can't go in there and then we playing team like Luton, and then we come up with a draw. How? I mean, it makes no sense. Yeah, that's the part that I agree that if we don't get our number one striker, then the other two positions that we're trying to fill has to be at a higher caliber.
Right. No, fair. Listen, I think that's fair enough, man. Guys, I think we'll leave it there. Appreciate you guys taking the time out. Great conversation, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it, you know, on the panel and also in the chat as well. Should be back tomorrow, man. Maybe we get some Kerkez news tomorrow. But before we head out, big up to G. Appreciate you jumping in. G's channel is in the description. KWASI Bowl TV is in the description, and obviously the Bayesian Massive Pops, their channel is in the description as well. Before we go to KWASI, though, do you have anything popping up tomorrow, today?
Tomorrow, same thing, man. I'm you know, tomorrow possibly a transfer show, depending on what's going on. I'm still on the Isaac soap, so people don't try to change my mind. It ain't gonna happen, one way or another.
It may happen, it may not happen.
It may happen, it may not. But if I may, real quick,
of course you can, bro. Go on.
We've seen that the rival fans are very worried. They've been baiting us for years, and now the monster has woken up, and they having shows telling us how much they are scared. We never had shows telling about how much we're scared of City. We went toe-to-toe with that beast. Right? You guys call that a side chick or whatever, but right now they having shows scared. Now we got rants, you know, big up to rants, but comparing Adebayo to Isak is almost a joke. Adebayo had that time, but brother, come on. You already have 3 shows that you're a meme of. Liverpool can pull players. Now what? Liverpool is not a Champions League team. Arsenal is. Now what? You know, the aura is gone. We win the league. Come on, people. This is LFC, baby.
All right. What about you, Pops, man? Do you guys have anything popping up today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are collab with Flawless as usual on Sarcasm City TV.
Yeah, Flawless.
I think the guys might be back next week to do a show, but just as they say, keep the notifications on and look out for us. Big up to Ains, big up KWASI, big up G, man. Always happy to be on the channel with the Hollywood crew, man.
Hey, no, man, just straight conversations.
The lights are brighter.
Yeah, it feels good today, man. I think G might want some people back over today. You know, he was a Megatron today. Today he was, you know what I mean? He was calm today, which is good, man. Yeah, I did put a few. So guys, you know, YouTube now does the community tab now, so you guys can get interactive in the community posts as well. You can even post things as well. Being I think it's anyone that subscribed to your channel, they can post things within the community as well. And I've been just throwing up loads of polls at the moment, man. I've been enjoying making one. There's a couple of them up now. You guys can throw in what kind of shows you guys want.
By the way, real quick, Pops, what have you guys done to Rasta, man? Y'all need to find something. That man is acting like a Karen in these streets, bro.
Leave Rasta Crab alone.
Rasta is acting like a Karen in the streets, man. We're not going to spend 120 for Wirtz. Then we get him. We're not going to spend 100 million. Come on. What's going on with Rasta, man?
Leave my guy alone, bro. He's just
apologies.
He's going through some stuff at the moment, bro.
Oh, okay. Apologies.
You know what I mean? He needs a space where he can feel safe, where he can say stuff. Hey, he came to your show. You should have been thankful. He came and interacted in the chat. Thank you.
The fans are worried. That's what I was saying. The community were worried. He did it twice. He's like, bro, we're not gonna be like Rasta. Come on, be positive. Just be positive. Zuberi's on a whole different level right now. We are scared we might lose him. He's in the dark right now. The man is talking about Chris Wood will do better than Isak in a better team. Brother, I'm telling you, it's very dark. Yeah, it's dark days. Yeah.
All right, listen, we'll leave it there on that note. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. If not, if anything breaks later, maybe we're back. I don't know, man.
We'll be back.
Turn the notification on, like the video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below as well. Big up to the mods taking care of the likes for me. Love for the love. Big up to the members.
Get it up, man. Get those likes up.
Guys,
happy Wirtz weekend.
Happy
Wirtz weekend.
It's a
for sure.
Look at you guys. Are we going to call him Flo or Florian or Wirtz? What are we calling him?
Leave my Wirtz. Flo's
I'm going Wirtz. I like
Wirtz. I'm going Wirtz.
All right. Chat, let me know in the comment section if you guys want to call him Wirtz or Flo or Florian. What is it? Peace out, man.